Hello everyone, welcome to Fable and Fact. Today, we're diving into one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world, Atlantis. It's the story of a mighty civilization that vanished beneath the waves more than 12,000 years ago. And right now, some researchers say they may have finally spotted its ruins in the heart of the Sahara Desert. Stick around, because we're not just revisiting Plato's tale, we're updating it with the latest discoveries and digging into whether the so-called Eye of the Sahara really could be the legendary lost city. You've probably heard the basic legend. According to Plato's dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Atlantis was an island nation located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, boasting a civilization so advanced it rivaled or even surpassed our own. Plato says this empire fell out of favor with the gods because of its pride and corruption. One day, a catastrophic earthquake and tsunami struck, swallowing the entire island and sending it to the bottom of the sea, forever inaccessible to any ship. Plato even gives us a timestamp. He claims the event occurred 9,000 years before Solon's time, which works out to around 9600 BC. And while most scholars agree that Atlantis was likely a thought experiment, an allegory for the dangers of imperial hubris, others have long held out hope that somewhere, somehow, ruins of this lost realm still exist. Let's rewind and revisit Plato's description. He speaks of concentric rings of alternating land and water encircling a central hill capped by a grand temple to Poseidon. The first ring of water was 1 stadion, about 185 meter wide. Then a ring of land 2 stadia wide. Then another water ring 2 stadia. Then land 3 stadia. And finally, a last canal 3 stadia across. According to Critias, these form the innermost core of the city, where the royal family and government lived, while ordinary citizens inhabited the outer rings. It's a remarkably detailed blueprint, and it's this blueprint that grabs the imagination of explorers around the world. Could such rings still be visible somewhere on Earth? That brings us to Mauritania. In the remote Adrar Plateau of northwest Africa, near the ancient caravan town of Ouadane, lies a circular geological structure so perfect it looks almost artificial. The RICHEST structure, nicknamed the Eye of the Sahara. From space, it appears as a bullseye of concentric rings stretching roughly 40 to 50 kilometers across. Geologists now tell us it's not a crater at all, but an eroded dome created when molten rock pushed up a sedimentary layer during the Cretaceous period, somewhere between 145 and 66 million years ago. Over time, the softer surrounding layers wore away, leaving behind hard quartzite and gabbro bands that form the rings we see today. Still, the resemblance to Plato's layout is uncanny, a raised central plateau surrounded by circular ridges and depressions, just as in the dialogues. That visual match led fringe theorists to propose that maybe this was the true site of Atlantis all along. But before we get carried away by conspiracy theories, let's look at the facts. The RICHEST structure rises to about 400 meters above the surrounding desert floor, with its outer rim reaching as high as 485 meters above sea level. If it were ever an island, sea levels would have had to be several hundred meters higher than today, far beyond any plausible rise at the end of the last ice age. Furthermore, archaeological surveys have found stone tools from the Acheulean era, hand axes, and other artifacts dating back hundreds of thousands of years, but no signs of a Bronze Age city or anything resembling the palatial structures Plato describes. In other words, humans have passed through here, but there's no evidence of an Atlantean civilization. So how did the Eye of the Sahara enter the pop culture spotlight? The story goes that in June 1965, astronauts James McDivitt and Edward White of Gemini 4 first noticed this strange circular formation from orbit, photographing it as a landmark on their 4-day mission. It wasn't a brand new discovery. They knew local nomads had long passed through the area, and French geologist Jacques-Richard Mollard studied it scientifically in 1948. But the space photographs brought global attention to this bullseye in the desert. Since then, researchers have offered other explanations. Impact crater, volcanic caldera, collapsing karst, even a giant soda lake drain. None have held up under close scrutiny. Today's consensus: an uplifted geological dome sculpted by erosion, though its perfectly circular appearance still puzzles geologists. Yet it's precisely this mystery that keeps the Atlantis debate alive. Proponents argue Plato's text describes an advanced society that harnessed rich mineral resources, copper, tin, even orichalcum, and the surrounding region of modern Mauritania is rich in iron, gold, and other ores. Isn't that a striking coincidence? And remember the legend of Atlas himself, the first king of Atlantis, the son of Poseidon. In ancient Greek, his name lives on in the Atlas Mountains of northwest Africa. Could a memory of those mountains, transformed by oral tradition, have found its way into Plato's tale? Skeptics counter, would a Bronze Age power really have left no trace? And would Plato, drawing on Egyptian priestly lore, really transpose a North African desert dome to the Atlantic? Most scholars believe Atlantis is a moral fable, not a lost map. So where does that leave us? The Eye of the Sahara is neither proof nor disproof of Atlantis. It's a stunning icon of Earth's geological artistry, a record of deep time, and a testament to our hunger for myth and discovery. It reminds us that even the harshest desert can hold secrets written in rock, waiting for space explorers or YouTubers to uncover them. If one day archaeology unearths Bronze Age walls beneath the dunes of Mauritania, we'll have to rethink everything. But for now, Atlantis remains both a legend and an inspiration, a what if that calls to our imagination every time we gaze at that colossal eye in the sand. Thanks for taking this journey with us. If you enjoyed exploring the legend of Atlantis and the Eye of the Sahara, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of Fable and Fact. See you next time.